Put It in the Air magazine available at all Ziggyz locations, Southwest 59th, North MacArthur, Yukon, and also Edmond on Broadway Extension. Make sure y'all tap in. If you're looking to advertise your brand and put it in the Air magazine, here go the rates. Tap in with us. Let's get it set up. Let's get into it. What up, what up? It's your boy Big 8, man. Shouts out to everybody. Welcome to Put It in the Air podcast. You know what I'm saying? We got a few topics to talk about today. Of course, we shooting from, one of our sponsors, locations, Ziggyz. We at the Edmond location today. Got plenty of glass and all kind of other stuff for you. So for all your smoke shop novelty needs and for all your medicinal cannabis needs, make sure you tap into Ziggyz. We got an Edmond location. We got a North MacArthur location. We got Southwest 59th and Western location. And then we got a Yukon location. So make sure y'all tap into those, you know what I'm saying, for all your medicinal needs, water pipes, vaporizers. We carry everything, you feel me? Also, coming up September 9th, we got a hell of an event going on. We got the Oklahoma Cannabis Music Festival, you know what I'm saying, starring Mike Jones, Lil Xan, and the Loonies. You know what I'm saying? Put It in the Air podcast. I will be there as a speaker. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all tap into that. Also, I got tickets for sale too. If you need tickets, you can pick them up at any Ziggyz location. Tickets are $35. So make sure you tap into the Ziggyz locations. It's going to be super lit. It's going to be super lit. But no further ado. We finna get into the ritual. You know what we do. So we're gonna do it a little different today. Shouts out to our sponsors, man. Gotta put that bone water in your system, you know what I'm saying? 100 milligrams THC bone water, man. Make sure y'all tap in, come get yours, you feel me? $10. $10. And of course, we got some of the best exclusive flower you can purchase on the market, man. Just make sure y'all come tap into Ziggyz. Let's get into this bone water. This motherfucker don't want to open. God damn. Gotta fight with this a little bit. Yeah, we're finna get into it. We're finna get right into it. Good taste too. They don't even taste bad. Shout out to Ziggyz for the bone water. Also, Put It in the Air magazine issue number 1 is at all Ziggyz locations. Edmond, Yukon, MacArthur, and Southwestern. So make sure y'all tap in to get your copy. Issue number 2 will be out July 16th. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all tap in, get your issue. You know what I'm saying? It's going all the way down. For sure. And also, happy Independence Day to everybody, man. I know it's a lot of conversation about what Independence Day really was, because it really shouldn't be a celebration for most people. But, since we celebrate it and everybody traditionally celebrate it, I'm going to say happy 4th of July to everybody. Enjoy yourself. Make sure you're safe. And watch your surroundings, man. It be a lot of crazy stuff. Shouts out to the family of the young lady who died at the ICE Event Center. Super tragic situation. Just when you out, man, be safe, man. And, some people party for fun. Some people party to act a fool. You just got to watch out for these crazy people nowadays. I ain't going to lie. Back in the day, I used to be one of them dudes. You know what I'm saying? I pulled up to places thinking either I'm going to get some chicks or I'm going to have a fight. Either or. I had to grow up out of that. And a lot of people need to grow up out of that a little faster. um, senseless killings and shit like that. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So everybody make sure you safe, enjoy yourself, enjoy your family, all that type of shit. So what we gonna get into today, damn, I'm sweating like a motherfucker. So what we gonna get into today is I got a few things I want to talk about. Of course, we got a lot of energy and a lot of emotions revved up about this Roe versus Wade thing. It is really deeper than what most people think. Most people just think, you know, a lot of y'all don't even know that this shit go back to 1970 and how many other states was involved and all that type of shit. So what I did is I took some notes. I did some research just to make sure I can have a healthy conversation with people about this. You know what I'm saying? So let's kick this off by giving y'all a little bit of history. So 1970, Roe versus Wade, two attorneys filed a lawsuit against Norma McCourty. Texas abortion statutes were unconstitutional and violated Ms. McCourty's privacy under 5 constitutional amendment rights. Norma McCourty was a Texas resident. So 1973, 7 out of 2 Supreme Court decision in the favor of Jane Roe rules that the Constitution protects the right to an abortion, that the all-male Supreme Court decided that abortions was a fundamental right for a woman's life and future. They also ruled that Texas had violated the rights of Jane Roe, which the abortion ban that denied her to be able to have one. So that's deep. That's the kickoff, right? So Miss McCourty, I guess she went to file an abortion, and they denied her the right to file an abortion, so her attorney picked it up. They filed a lawsuit against the state of Texas for going against this woman's constitutional rights. So, and they ended up winning. An all-male jury. They ended up winning with an all-male jury, which is kind of, it's a big deal, but not really a big deal. The fact that 9 men can sit down and have a decision and rule in the favor of Miss McCourty is a strong thing. It's definitely something to keep in consideration when you're talking about this whole Roe versus Wade thing. It's just a lot going into it. And like I said, most people haven't done the research to go back and find out where it came from, where it stemmed from, the processes that have been happening over the years, all that type of stuff. Most people just know that it was just filed. So let's continue. 1974, anti-abortion activists rallied in D.C. for the first March for Life rally to lobby Congress to change the law. So pretty much what they did is they did protests and picketing and all this old stuff to try to get Congress to change the law to where women couldn't have abortions. 1976, the Hyde Amendment restricting government funds to be spent on abortions except in the case of rape, incest, or a threat to the woman's life was passed. Then we're going to scroll down a little bit more. 1986, Missouri governor signs into law a number of restrictions on abortion. Several of them were subject to court battles. So pretty much in 86, the governor of Missouri had put in some amendments to the whole abortion situation. And in the process of that, he ended up fighting in court multiple times over whether this was constitutional or unconstitutional. Then you got 1988 to 1989 in Pennsylvania. Lawmakers in Pennsylvania amend Abortion Control Act of 1982, adding 5 provisions including informed consent before an abortion, up to a 24-hour waiting period, consent of one parent for a minor to have the procedure, and the husband notification requirement for married women, which was also challenged as unconstitutional. Then July 1989, the Supreme Court ruling in Webster versus Reproductive Health Services upholds that the law state of Missouri be inactive, barred public employees and public facilities from assisting or performing abortions unless necessary. Then we're going to skip up to June 1992. Planned Parenthood of Southeast Pennsylvania versus Casey, the Supreme Court 5-4 decision upholds the provisions requiring informed consent to be informed consent before an abortion, 24-hour waiting period before a procedure can be done, and consent of one parent of a minor to an abortion. The court invalidated the husband notification requirement. So pretty much they took it out of the rulings to where the wife would have to notify the husband and get the husband's consent before she can have an abortion. All these things add up to what's happening today. So keep everything in mind. November 2003, Partial Birth Abortion Ban Act signed into law by President George W. Bush, prohibiting doctors to perform late abortions. This law is challenged and blocked by federal courts in California, Nebraska, and New York. George W. Bush stepped in and did his part as far as fighting for the abortion or fighting against the abortion. April 2007, Supreme Court upholds ban on late-term abortions, ruling 5-4 in Gonzalez versus Carhart case, finding that it was not unconstitutionally vague and did not impose undue burden on the right of abortion. So pretty much that what they're saying is they agreed with the movement that President Bush had and agreed that it wasn't unconstitutional to stop women from having late-term abortions. Which I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of shaky on that. It just kind of depends. Because like an abortion is an abortion. We all know the stages of child development in the womb. So to me personally, killing it when it's little is no different than killing it when it's developed. That's just my personal opinion. Killing it is killing it. So we can move on. All right. Where did I stop at? Okay, July 2013, Texas lawmakers enact House Bill 2 with provisions requiring doctors doing abortions to have hospitals admitting privileges no more than 30 miles from the facility and must meet minimum ambulatory surgical center standards. Abortion providers in Texas challenged the requirements, arguing that it violates the 14th Amendment. June 2014, Louisiana governor signs Act 620, a law similar to Texas admitting privileges law. The law is challenged by abortion clinics and providers. June 2016, Texas admitting privileges law and surgical center requirements law is struck down by the Supreme Court in a 5-3 ruling. So pretty much the rules that Texas put into play that was approved in 2013 and 2016, the Supreme Court ruled that that shouldn't be valid in a 5-3 ruling. All right, so let's jump to June 2020. Supreme Court rules 5-4 in the June Medical Services versus Russo case to invalidate Louisiana admitting privileges law, sitting the court's 2016 Texas decision. So pretty much after they overruled the Texas decision, they ended up pressing in court to get them to overrule the Louisiana decision. May 2021, the Supreme Court agreed to hear Dobbs versus Jackson, the Mississippi law that bars abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. Later, Mississippi state officials would ask to overturn Roe versus Casey. Then we're going to jump to September 2021. Texas enacts Senate Bill 8, or the Heartbeat Act, the first time a state successfully opposed a 6-week abortion ban since Roe versus Wade. The act also gave people of the public versus state officials the right to sue anyone that helps or facilitates an illegal abortion. December 2021, the Supreme Court ruled to keep Texas ban on most abortions in place, limiting who can sue state officials. And then May 2022, a 98-page draft opinion is written by Justice Al Alito in the Mississippi abortion case. He wrote that Roe was aggressively wrong and should be overruled. So now that we got some history, then we get to 2023, to where we all kind of know what happened with the Roe versus Wade. They just overturned it and made it to where abortions, where pretty much they just banned abortions again. So I'm not against abortion, and I'm technically not for abortion, if that makes sense. So my opinion, and this is just my opinion, trust me, I've been having this conversation with people over the last 5-6 days. I've heard all kind of crazy stuff from women of all ages, all colors, and all sizes. Women are very emotionally attached to this Roe versus Wade case and this overturning. So the way I feel abortions being legal aid people being unresponsible. And that's just my opinion. You can agree, you can disagree, you have that right. But I think making it to where they ban abortions takes away a person's choice. So where that can get complicated at is we allow people to make mistakes and then have abortions, but then we also give people means of being irresponsible by allowing abortions. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. And I got another opinion too we're going to talk about, which I know is probably going to piss people off. And that's okay. So, I had a post on my page to where I asked women to put a 100% in the comments if they are in control of their vagina. This shit went crazy. That is a simple question, okay? There is no trick to it. That is a simple question. Do women have control of their vagina? Because my biggest argument is people like to talk about the chicken and completely forget about the egg. The egg is null and void. Nobody talks about the egg. So I want to talk about the motherfucking egg. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. So it's common to scroll down your timeline or look on YouTube and see women bashing men for not being responsible for the children that they help create. Totally fine. Understand that. I personally feel like if you take part in helping make a child, that you should uphold your responsibilities to care for that child. Now here goes the catch. The man has no power, no control over the decision a woman makes while she's pregnant. Then after the baby is born, technically by law, the man has no rights to the child unless he goes to the court and goes through the court system and win his rights for the child. Even with signing the birth certificate. The crazy thing about signing the birth certificate is the birth certificate makes you legally responsible to care for this child. So she can go take legal action against you if you decide, I really didn't want this child, or it was a mistake and we should have got an abortion, or she could have took a Plan B pill and she decided not to because she didn't want to. Like, there is limited responsibility that a man has after a woman is pregnant because by law, you legally don't have no control over nothing. She set her doctor's appointments like she want to. She'd go through all that stuff the way she want to without your input unless she allows you to have that type of input. These are facts. I've been through it 3 times. So yeah, I definitely know this part. So it's safe to say that the man has limited control about anything until he goes to court. So with the woman being in control of all this stuff and possessing the control of the vagina, I'm not saying it don't take two to tango. But what I'm saying is a vagina cannot get pregnant unless it allows somebody inside it. These are facts. The only difference is in the case of abuse, rape, and incest. You know, and the incest kind of falls under abuse, because if somebody's molesting you or whatever, and they do something to you and they put a baby in you, and you know this ain't what you asked for, that's a completely different story. But what I'm talking about is consensual sex. I looked up the percentages. 5% of abortions are due to rape, incest, and abuse. So let's scale this back. 5% out of 100% of abortions come from these three topics. So that means we got 95% of the people asking for abortions making mistakes. That's a huge freaking difference, bro. That's a huge difference. So that makes me say that us as a people have to do something different. We got to make better decisions. We got to be more conscious with our actions and who we share ourselves with, stuff like that. So when I had this opinion about abortions and relationships, because this is the reason why we got a lot of single mothers. We got a lot of single mothers because the power is given to the woman when it comes to the child. In most states, not in all states, in most states. So, of course, this power is being manipulated by different people. Like, I dealt with it a few times. Like, the fact that a woman feels like she can control a man in his life after a child is crazy. So, say for instance, the shoes on the other foot. They're not taking women's license for child support. They're not locking women away for multiple years over child support. But the men, your consequences can be extremely worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is horrible for a man dealing with the child support system. You know what I'm saying? Like, they almost take all your income. They make it to where if you have other kids, it's almost impossible to take care of your family, especially with the wages and the COVID and the gas prices and all this old stuff. You spend almost more money on gas than you do on your bills, depending on how much you work. You know what I'm saying? So, that, you know, they make things unlivable. Like, how are we supposed to conduct and live life under these conditions? You know what I'm saying? But what I came up with is if women stop making vagina available, we have less kids out of wedlock. We have less single parent homes. That's not saying all of the responsibility is on the woman. But what that is saying is if the woman is responsible with the reproductive organs that she has and not share them unless she knows she has a partner in the situation, you end up with a lot less single parent homes. Single parent homes have a lot to do with the way the economy is, have a lot to do with the things that people have access to. You want your kids to have access to things that other people have access to. But due to the fact that we create our own problems, our kids miss out on all of this stuff until they get to an age where they can figure it out themselves. Like, I didn't understand taxes at first. I didn't understand the proper way to run an LLC. Like, it's just a lot of stuff that I ended up learning a lot older, that if I would have learned that stuff when I was 18, 19, 15, 16, instead of learning the stuff that I did learn, I could have been further ahead in life, making better decisions, ending up in better situations. So I just want people to keep that in mind. Like, yes, it takes two to tango, but the vagina is where the baby's held. It's where the baby's formed. It's where the baby grows. It's where the baby lives until it comes out of the womb. So if we were more protective of that and had better principles about that, I don't think we would have as many situations as we have as far as abortion. That's just a fact. That's just the way I feel. You know what I'm saying? I done had some close calls. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of us had. Most people had. You know what I'm saying? To where you did something frivolous and it wasn't for love. It wasn't for none of that. It was it was for enjoyment. And we human. Sex is enjoyable for all humans. Well, most humans, unless somebody ruined it for you. So, with that being said, I understand. But at the same time, even with me, my decisions could have been better. You know what I'm saying? I don't exclude myself from any opinions that I have about anything. My decisions could have been better. Now, all my kids was planned except for one. But at the same time, and the only reason why she wasn't planned is because she's not biologically mine, but she's mine, though. You know what I'm saying? That's my baby. I raised that baby. That baby know me as daddy. You feel what I'm saying? So, when you put these different constructs together and then you think about things logically instead of being emotional, you come to different conclusions because it's easy to say, well, what you mean? Whoopty, whoopty, whoop. It's always a man talking about what a woman should do with this and whoopty, whoopty, whoop with that. Nobody said anything about men building everything that we use every day. You know what I'm saying? How are we going to come up with good solutions if all men do is receive the backlash? Like, we get backlash for everything. We don't make enough money. We're not attractive enough. We're too short. We're too tall. Our feet ain't big enough. He too dark. He too light. Not enough facial hair. Men get criticized for everything while you got women on here making money just off of being born a certain way. So I don't want to get into all that backlash because that's not what this for. Well, I'll be having these conversations so we could all grow and learn from something. Because it's different perspectives to look at from everything. We're going to be talking about religion too soon. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jump the Godfather. I'm going to have Jump the Godfather on here. We're going to chop it up about some religion. Because me and him had some talks about religious stuff, spiritual stuff, and historic stuff. We had a good conversation earlier. And I think that other people need to hear that conversation because you got a lot of people that don't care about history. You got a lot of people that'll say shit to the extent of, I ain't worried about what happened before. I'm worried about what's going on now. Cool. But everything that's going on now is just a different version of stuff that's happened before. So if we can understand the problems and see them as they arise, we can deal with them better. We can come out with better outcomes than slaughter. You know what I'm saying? People don't have to die every time groups of people disagree. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But listen, I'm finna get up out of here. Like I said, man, y'all can check us out at the Oklahoma Cannabis Festival, Music Festival Awards, officially. And keep it real, you feel me? Put it in the air podcast, signing off. Shouts out to Ziggyz, shouts out to the rest of our sponsors. Make sure you tap in for the magazines. We got them at all the locations. And we're going to keep it real like that. Salute. Love y'all, man. Talk to you soon. Oh, yeah, and don't forget, happy 4th of July. Looking to advertise your brand and put it in the Air magazine, here go the rates. Tap in with us. Let's get it set up.